The Lysander is covered with silver ultracoat, and they do a very good job of this at the factory. This has been out of the box for a couple of weeks, and I have yet to touch the covering. There's no loose spots or loose seams. I can promise that with all these little curves in the covering, I'd have never got this good a job done myself. I'll go over the whole thing with the heat gun just to be sure before we actually take it to the field, but so far I can't find anything that needs fixing. The removable forward cockpit area gives us good access to the fuselage interior. One thing to watch out for is how far this interior goes down into the fuselage when it's in place. You have to be careful of this when setting things up inside. The rear of the cockpit is secured by the spring-operated latch, and the front has these loops that it goes into. It's very simple but very secure. A painted pilot bus is installed at the factory, as is the dashboard with gauges on it. This must be standoff scale, because if you stand back you can't see that he's not actually holding a yoke. Nearly all of the radio gear is installed beneath the removable portion of the canopy. And that's understandable because the canopy from there on back is filled with structure that holds the wing on. The built-in servo mounts are very secure and laid out to avoid any kind of conflicts. The built-in platform towards the rear is a great place for putting a receiver. The included steel rods were used to control the elevators. The pull-pull hardware that comes with the kit is the only thing I think is junk. I use Dubro sets on all my planes anyway. I also use a Dubro pull-pull set on the steerable tail wheel. Incidentally, this 2-inch diameter tail wheel has an oleo strut type suspension in it. Good-sized pin hinges are used throughout this model, and they come installed but not glued. The flapsies especially been pin hinged that produce the drop-down motion. The flap servos are mounted normally in the wing, while the aileron servos are mounted at an angle so they fit within the thinner part of that wing. The aileron linkage is semi-concealed, while the flap hinge is fully concealed. All of the wing servos are covered by these plates that just screw on. The wheel pants and strut covers are actually all one piece on either side. Those of you that follow my site know that I hate wheel pants, but on a bigger plane like this they actually work. These are located by the wheel axles and the strut tabs. The motor box on the Lysander is substantial and came undrilled. I drilled it for my DA60 and that went fine. They include standoffs and bolts in the kit, but everything I had for the DA60 worked fine. I refused to use a choke servo, so I made up this manual rod. And it works just fine, especially when I remember if in is choke or out is choke. The bottom of the motor box is curved to make plenty of room for the pit-style muffler that I use from Bison. I've been using high-temperature silicone in place of paper gaskets on my mufflers, and Bison encourages doing that. I also like that Bison includes a support strap. That dramatically reduces the effects vibrations have on this aluminum muffler. I tried installing the struts with the plane upright, but that made it very difficult to do. That air induced a twist in the wing that nearly cost me this plane on the maiden flight. Later, I inverted the plane and reinstalled the struts. The Lysander comes with this device for checking the center of gravity. This tool makes it possible for one person to check and adjust the CG on this plane. The plates are indexed by the wing tube and the mounting plate in the wing. This means you just can't get the CG point wrong. Hook the cord over the bolts in the CG plates and you're ready to go. I don't have a clue why all model manufacturers don't include this kind of device with their planes, particularly the large planes. I added just over 2 ounces of lead to the tail, and that got it to where it hangs just a tick nose down as I like it. Now we're ready for the maiden flight.